I've been living in Europe for a little while now, so today I'll show you what a day really looks like working US hours from here, and I'll break down all the challenges and the positives so you get a full picture of what it really looks like. When I'm in an American time zone, I like to wake up at 4 and get the day going, but because of my work schedule here, I don't start until 8, but I usually start my day with the gym and a run. I'm all ready for the day, so here's the plan for today. First, I'm going to the store because I'm looking for a couple new cameras before my upcoming trip. And I need to get a SIM card, a Europe-wide SIM card for my upcoming trips as well, because it'd just be easier if I can get one that works for all of Europe rather than having to get different ones, and then I'll take you through my work day. Here in Bucharest, you can pay for all public transportation with any contactless card or Apple Pay, which I really prefer because a lot of cities I've been to, you need to actually get a transportation card, or they just charge you way more if you try to pay in cash. So way more convenient system here in Bucharest for sure. But they did not have the camera that I wanted in stock, unfortunately. So I am going to take a chance. The mall is nearby. About a 10-minute walk away. I'm just gonna go to the electronics store in there and see if I can find it. This is a dedicated camera store, so I thought this would be the best chance, but we'll go check out the mall and see if we can find it. Did not find it here, unfortunately, so we need to come up with a new plan. In the meantime, I will still go to Vodafone because I still need to get that SIM card, and we'll find lunch somewhere around here. The SIM card was 96 lei, which was about 21 USD for all of EU for a month. I have lunch here. This looks like it's a stuffed pepper. Let me show you. I think it is. Don't really know because I can't read Romanian. And this isn't one of those places with a menu. It's one of those places where you go in and you just look and you just pick what you want. And then they give it to you kind of by weight. And I also got some sort of chicken thing. Here they spoke Spanish, which is cool, so that I could actually somewhat communicate. But I don't think she speaks too much Spanish. I thought she said something to me in Spanish at first, but I was like, I'm just imagining it because Romanian is quite similar to Spanish. I think she said something else, but I still was not really going with it because I thought I was imagining it still. And then she was like, you speak Spanish, right? And I was like, yeah. So then I spoke to her in Spanish because I thought I was imagining it. Anyway, it looks like it's a stuffed pepper, which I love. So I'm excited. Looks like it's rice inside, but we'll find out. That's really tasty. I'm learning that I love stuffed pepper. I had it when I was a kid. Recently, as an adult, I've been having stuffed pepper, and I love it. I think there are mushrooms in here, and rice, and onion, and pepper. No meat, unfortunately. I think meat is great in a stuffed pepper, but I'll show you here. All of this together, the stuffed peppers and the chicken, I think it was 47 leu, which is like $10 maybe. So pretty good price. Stuffed pepper, as predicted, is delicious. Let's try the chicken now. Is this excessive that I have 2 plates? I feel like a stuffed pepper alone isn't enough, and chicken alone isn't enough. But I feel sort of gluttonous for getting 2 different, they gave me 2 different plates. It made me feel a bit, I don't know. But anyway, ooh. This chicken looks scrumptious. I don't know what's in here, but this just looks delicious with the cream that they have here. Yeah, again, I don't even really like chicken that much. I just wanted to get some protein, but this is actually very good chicken. I really am shocked that she was so adamant that I spoke Spanish that even after I ignored her Spanish, she still asked me. No one ever clocks it. Very few people. The chicken is alright, but I like the stuffed pepper more. So I'm saving the stuffed pepper for the end. This is a lot of protein. I think this is gonna hit my protein goal for the day. It was a big ass piece of chicken. I'm home and I still have 3 hours before my actual workday starts, which is excellent, just the way I planned it, because I still need to pack for weekend trips. Obviously I don't take a suitcase, that'd be dumb. I just take a backpack like this and it fits pretty much everything I need. So let's start packing. Alright, so I started working over here a little bit ago. I think it is about 30 minutes into my workday. It's 4:30, so I start at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And so, yeah, it's basically just my workday. I think there isn't really too much to show you at this point. Luckily today, not too many meetings, or no meetings at all, I think. So just gonna be me working here, so pretty relaxed. This is the kind of day when I can go to a coffee shop to work. But honestly, because I have this trip coming up this weekend, I just want to relax at home and work at home and not go out of the house, honestly. So yeah, I've been working for a couple hours. Not sure if I've even shown you anything, but been working over here. So now it is time for dinner. It is almost 7, so I think it's a good time to have dinner. You can see we got some late afternoon sun going right now, and you can see more and more blocks in the distance, but this is honestly one of the prettiest blocks I've seen, so I'm not complaining too much. At least I got a good one. Anyway, here we are in the kitchen. I'm going to have my usual meal at home. Lentils. I love lentils. Also, one thing that I've noticed, this is an Eastern Europe thing. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, in Albania, the zucchinis were darker green. I'm from North America, where our zucchinis are dark green. I noticed in South America, same thing, dark green. But here in Eastern Europe, okay, I can't say all of Eastern Europe because I remember clearly Albania had dark green zucchinis, but in Turkey, light green zucchini, which the first time I saw was just like, is this just a bad zucchini? Because the color is so pale, it doesn't look nice. And here in Romania, light zucchini. Curious, in your country, do you have light zucchini or dark zucchini? And if you've tried both, what do you prefer? Working American hours while living in a European time zone, I think can actually be the ideal setup, even better than living in American time zone and working American hours. For some people. Not for me though, so I'll explain both sides. Made some notes here, so let's go through them. So, who is this the perfect fit for? Number one, if you like to party, this is perfect because you can go out if you want every single night and you're never going to be late for work, you're never going to struggle to get up because your work starts in the afternoon. The other type of person is, even if you don't like to party, you like to work like I do, but you're a night person, evening person, night owl is probably what I should have called it. You like to work in the evening. I know a lot of people like this. In fact, I think most people around me are more evening, nighttime, I should say night owls. I don't know why I'm coming up with evening, like evening something. But anyway, most people I know like working at night and they feel like they're more productive at night. So if that's the case for you, I think working this setup that I talked about, working US hours, but living in European hours, I think it is the perfect setup for you. Another great thing about this current setup is that you have the entire morning and really a lot of the day free, which means that you can basically do whatever you want in the daytime and you can book appointments and everything is open during your free time. Versus, I know you guys have probably been in the situation where you want to book something and they're only open exact working hours, but you're also at work during working hours, so when are you supposed to go in for that appointment? It makes things very difficult, and that's all solved just by living in European hours, but working American hours. So those are the main pros when it comes to my current setup. Now, what are the cons? Number one, let's say 12 to 1 you finish working. That means that if you're gonna get a full 7.5, 8 hours of sleep, you're not waking up until, let's say, 8 or later. So for me, I'm like extreme morning person. I like to wake up at 4, and that's just not possible here. I also don't love working and then going straight from work to bed because my brain is very active and I'm the kind of person where I fall asleep immediately. But here, it does take a little bit longer for me to fall asleep, even though you'll see I have a bunch of different protocols before bed that I go through, like turning on my red light. And so everything is red, my melatonin starts producing and everything like that. But even still, because you're so active and alert because of work, it's a little bit harder for you to wind down, which I don't prefer. Other notes, the other con that I've faced is that socializing or getting into certain activities can be a little bit more difficult with this setup. For example, I don't think I'm a super social person where it's like I want to go to pubs and go out or whatever it is. That's not really where I'm feeling this negative, but it's more so different activities that I want to do. For example, if I want to do like some sort of martial art or whatever it is, my perfect setup is I go to the gym in the morning, I work, and then I go and do some sort of active activity. I like active activities like martial arts or something like that. So that would be my ideal schedule, but obviously I can't really do it that way because I'm here. And for me, I think going to the gym and then going to something like martial arts and then working, that's a little bit too much physical activity. Like I'm gonna be tired for one or the other. So it doesn't really make sense. I like to take the full work day to recover my body, and then I can go and kill my body again with another active activity. So I can't really do that here. even for non-active activities, like let's say I've been wanting to try some improv classes, but I haven't really been able to do that here because, number one, to find English improv classes in a non-English speaking country, very limited. I found a couple and all of them are in the afternoon throughout the week, so it's not really something that I can participate in. So it's just a little bit harder to, participate in the activities that I want to participate in based on my personal interests and to set up my day in an ideal way. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't like being here in Europe, doesn't mean that it's not worth it. I think it's well worth it, that's why I'm here, because I really wanted to, especially I think the one I wanted to visit the most and live in the most was Istanbul. I really wanted to go to Turkey, which was my last location. And so it was worth it for sure to have a slightly different schedule than my ideal in order to have the experience of living in Turkey. Another thing in Turkey, particularly, is I really wanted to do belly dancing classes, but all of the classes were during the week and in the afternoon, and none of them really fit with my schedule. So unfortunately, I didn't really get to do that, which I really wanted to do. I wanted to spend the entire 3 months I was there learning how to belly dance, but couldn't do that. I'll have to do it somewhere else. So that is a major con for me, and I'm not going to spend too much more time in this time zone. I'm going to be moving closer and closer back to American hours, but that's just because of my personal preference. Again, I think if you're one of the people that I mentioned before, those are your particular habits, interests, preferences, I think this could be the ideal setup for you. For me, it's not, but I don't absolutely hate it, and I'm still going to be here in a European time zone for the next few months. All right, going to head out for a walk now. I need some tampons. So I'm gonna go to the store and need that before my trip tomorrow, otherwise we're gonna be in trouble. So, is that TMI? Too bad. You heard it already. I'm gonna call my mom while I walk. That's another thing, is when you're in this time zone, the time that you have free, your family and friends and whatever that live in US time zone are sleeping during that time, so you can't really call them then. So, I sometimes call my mom when I go on my daily walks, because now is a little bit of a better time. Yeah, and then during their free time, after work, you're usually sleeping. So, bit tough. Oops. Music. Bit tough, but yeah, we'll make it work. They look like not. Alright, we're back, and I have my tampons and a sweet treat for today, which is frozen mango, pineapple, and papaya. So I'm excited for that. In the meantime, I still have another couple hours of work here. What I do, you can see it's dark now, is I changed my lights here. I need to find my other phone because the other phone is where I have the lighting app. Don't know where my other phone is. I'm always found it. What I do is I switch to red lights now because this starts to produce melatonin so that I'm more ready to bed. This is especially important when I'm here in Europe because I work right until I go to sleep. So I need to have some way to wind down. So that was it. Pretty normal workday in Bucharest. The very last Bucharest/Romania video is coming out next week. So you'll see my new spot very soon, and I'll see you again next Sunday.